Hello everyone, it is Sunday, May the 21st, 2023, and I've just started a 4-night backpacking trip in the Mount Rogers High Country. This trip started at the Elk Garden Trail Head, and I'm taking the Virginia Highlands Horse Trail up to Bryan Ridge, then Cabin Ridge Trail up to Cabin Ridge, and either camp on Cabin Ridge tonight or maybe the creek just before Cabin Ridge. This is my annual trip to Trail Days, which is mostly an excuse to go backpacking in the Mount Rogers High Country. It is an incredible day today. The sky is mostly clear and the temperature is in the low 60s. I'm almost to my campsite on Cabin Ridge. I haven't stayed here in 5 or 6 years. There used to be a spring up here, but the last 3 or 4 times I've walked by, the spring's been dry. It's always been in the spring, and relatively typical wet spring. So something must have changed underground with the water flows. So I filled up with water at that creek about a mile back. So that'll get me through the night and in the morning. Glad I carried that water yesterday. I just walked by the spring and it was dry and there's water everywhere. Yesterday it was running down the trail in places. Anyway, nice little campsite last night. The low this morning was a little chilly for mid-May. It was 41, although I've seen it in the mid-30s here. Today I'm taking the Virginia Highlands Horse Trail, which I just intersected with. It was about 1/10 of a mile from where I camped. Then I'm going to take the AT to Stone Mountain, then drop down Big Wilson Creek Trail to the Kabel Trail, and then hike over and camp at the junction of Little Wilson Creek. It's another beautiful day, partly cloudy, and the temperature is in the mid-50s. almost to my campsite on Little Wilson Creek. It has just been a great day. Saw a few people in Grayson Highlands State Park, but I didn't see anybody before entering or after leaving the state park. Should also mention yesterday that while I was on the Virginia Highlands Horse Trail, I saw a couple on horses, 2 backpackers and 1 day hiker. The day hiker was the original owner and founder of Mount Rogers Outfitters in Damascus. He sold the business a few years ago and I haven't seen him since, so it was nice to chat with him and catch up a little bit. This is not where I intended to camp. Someone was camped at the place I had in mind, which is really bizarre. I've been camping in that spot on and off for, I don't know, 25 years, and I've never seen anyone camp there. In fact, I don't even think I've ever seen anybody in this part of the Mount Rogers High Country. It's crazy. He's been camping there for 15 years, and he's never seen anyone. So anyway, I crossed back over the creek and bushwhacked about 200 yards down the stream and found a little small flat spot that'll work. Well, surprise, surprise. Nathan got in here about 10:30 last night, unexpected, camped here with the other person, and then this morning I thought I heard somebody yelling, "Dad, Dad!" Well, based on past performance, I shouldn't be surprised that Nathan would show up about 10 o'clock at night. It's really strange because when I was going to bed about 10, I thought I heard that guy talking to someone. I wasn't too far from him, a little downstream and on the other side of the creek. So anyway, today's plan is to take the Kabel Trail about 8/10 of a mile. Then we're going to bushwhack about 150 feet in elevation, about a quarter of a mile distance up to the first peak trail. This will save us about 2 miles. Then we're going to take the first creek trail to Scales. Then we're going to take the Virginia Highlands Horse Trail to Big Wilson Creek, where we're going to camp tonight. It is another beautiful day, partly cloudy, and the temperature's in the mid-60s. All right, coming up on Big Wilson Creek, and there's a nice little campsite just on the other side of the creek. It's just been a great day. All we saw was one guy on a horse and one guy at scales. Lots of solitude today. Beautiful campsite last night, right along Big Wilson Creek. We had some longhorn steers that came into camp a couple of times. We had to chase them off. Finally, they left for good. Today, the plan is to continue on the Virginia Highlands Horse Trail to the Appalachian Trail to Rhododendron Gap, then to the Crest Trail and camp somewhere along the Crest Trail. It was the coldest night so far last night. The low was 39 degrees, but today's the warmest. The temperature is in the low 70s. All right, just filled up with water at the spring near the junction of Crest Trail and Rhododendron Gap Trail. There was a guy and two boys camped there, and they saw Nathan walk down to the spring, but he wasn't at the spring, so maybe he just walked past them and they didn't see him, or maybe kind of went around him, I don't know. But I told him generally where we're camping. He's camped here before, so hopefully he'll show up, or he's already here somewhere. Anyway, it was just an absolutely beautiful day. Saw a lot of people, of course, in the corridor between Grayson Highlands State Park and Rhododendron Gap, but it was beautiful views, just an absolutely incredible day. Well, I've been here for about 3 hours and Nathan hasn't shown up. The last time we talked, we were on the AT on Wilburn Ridge, and I said, let's eat lunch up here, and he goes, no, I'm about out of water. And I said, well, I got enough water. He goes, no, I'm just going to go on and get some water. So I didn't eat lunch there. I just went on down to the spring. That's where the people said they saw him hike down to the spring. So from there, the only place to camp is going down Crest Trail to Kabel Ridge. He knows this area. There's people everywhere. So anyway, he was worried about somebody breaking into his car. He's parked at some remote trailhead at the end of some Forest Service road. He probably decided, I guess, just to hike on out tonight or hike closer to Grayson Highlands, so he'll have a shorter day out tomorrow. We're taking different ways out tomorrow. I'm hiking out the AT to Elk Garden. I managed to get enough of a signal to send him a text, but it was not delivered, so I doubt that he's got signal. So he'll probably get it tomorrow, and I'll find out what happened then. Anyway, I'm sure he's okay. Later last night, after I shot my last video, I got a text from Nathan that he couldn't find where I was camping, so he just hiked back to his car. He only had about 5 miles. He probably knocked that out in under 2 hours, and he was probably in his car and on his way home by the time I shot the last video. Anyway, I'm not sure. We just had a misunderstanding. I thought I told him where we were going to camp, and he camped there years ago. I guess he just forgot. So anyway, I had 3 thru hikers that came in and camped with me last night. 2 guys and a girl. That was kind of different. There was people camped all over the place. In fact, they told me that nobody was at Thomas Nobb's shelter, so that explained why there were so many people camped around me. Anyway, it is another nice day. Mostly cloudy, temperatures about 60 degrees. Almost back to Elk Garden, and this has been an incredible, beautiful 5-day backpacking trip in the Mount Rogers high country. No rain for 5 days, very unusual for Mount Rogers. Of course, I wish Nathan could have stayed with me last night, but we'll have many more opportunities. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this video of the Mount Rogers high country, one of my favorite places to backpack, and thanks for watching.